Hello, everybody, and good morning. How's everybody's morning today? Soon afternoon, I believe. Oh yeah, 11:51 today on June 1st. Happy June 1st. Wow. Just blows my mind how fast it's been going. But hello, everybody. I appreciate you all coming onto my channel, listen to what I have to say. You know, it's been going. But yeah, so let's get on more about Antarctica. I really wanted to cover this because there's some things that nobody's really paying attention to. There's been a whole bunch of scientists that's been going up there. I really had to. I was diving in the theories of Atlantis more. No, I wouldn't say the theories. I'm more than 98% sure that I'm right. From the way things are going in that. But yes, more scientists have been going up there. Another batch of military personnel has been sent up there. And it's looking crazy. It's looking crazy. So, it's a whole new thing. And then from what I've seen and some things that, and some sources that I heard from that, Vladimir Putin, he's talking about talking. So, I think Putin's getting tired of everything that's going on, that the United States is getting involved in things that they shouldn't, which I agree. I mean, the United States has been getting involved in a lot of situations that they shouldn't have gotten involved in, and some things that I can see, but it's really the facts, and it just blows my mind on how a lot of things are being ignored, and we're driven to pay attention to one side of things and not the whole picture. And that, like I said, they always will keep things from us until they absolutely have to come out with it, or enough whistleblowers come out and talk about it. So it's all about that. The fact is that there's a whole bunch of things that are going on, and like I said, there's a reason. So Antarctica is really the lost city of Atlantis. And I wouldn't really say that it was lost. It was made to be lost, and that because things are being changed in that even back then, and greed and the wonders of people. These conquerors were going out trying to conquer civilizations and for gold and that. But Atlantis was really high in technology, advanced technology, and that. Along with that, every culture was going there and trading and selling. So, but the main thing there was, the fact that they were highly advanced. I mean, the way Pluto describes it is just unbelievable how it was made and created. And that's pretty advanced with smarts and that. And to be able to be smart like that, you would have to have some kind of genius in your mind. To figure out a layout the way it's laid out, and it's perfect the way, for an attack in that, perfect defense. So it just really blows my mind that people aren't paying attention about Atlantis, and you're paying attention to just Antarctica and what they're saying Antarctica is. Antarctica is Atlantis, I'm telling you, because they're constantly there and they have everybody cut off from it, and then there's a reason, is for that technology, because that's where everybody's been going and then popping up with new technology. Look at Hitler. Hitler was the first one to go over there and discover that technology, and then America didn't want people to know that he discovered that technology and the advancements in technology, because he didn't, he would probably come out and say, hey, I found Atlantis. Hitler would have. He would have been proud of something like that. Hey, I found Atlantis. It's Antarctica. It's unbelievable, and the people were amazing and still alive and living long and all this. Um, and that's the thing. I mean, I'm a bird went there and flew into that hole, and it was everything's described to a T. Um, in the city, the way it's described by Admiral Byrd is Atlantis. I mean, I wish I could talk to Admiral Byrd's son to get a hold of the copies of the journal that his father wrote, um, because it's just mind-boggling on everything. So Admiral Byrd found that he was warned about the radiation bombs that were going on being released. They knew about it and they sent a warning. Admiral Byrd went back early, so they were supposed to, I think, do like a year in Antarctica and that, because they just found out some things, so they wanted to know if it was true. But what was weird is they basically took a whole war zone up there. So obviously they had to know before that. They just made it seem like, oh yeah, they're just going up there to look around, blah blah blah. But you wouldn't need a whole army to, a whole navy and U.S. Air Force and that and more to go somewhere just to look at something. Obviously. So it just and then like I said, they were supposed to be doing like I think a year or more over there, and they ended up coming back way early. And then that's when Admiral Byrd went in, and they were missing some ships. So, if I remember correctly, there were 6 ships that went, and only 4 came back, and then some men didn't come back, and some other odds and ends didn't make it back. So it's just mind-boggling on the things that I've heard in that. So now this happened while Admiral Byrd went in into that hole and met the tribe. And so what I believe what happened is they thought that because Admiral Byrd lost communication. So when they're seeing these things, I guess they thought it was enemy aircraft that came in and possibly shot down Admiral Byrd. So they went out on an all-out war. And then Admiral Byrd came out and it ceased. But basically, what we weren't told, they told them to leave. They told Admiral Byrd, well, you can go, but you got to take all your, all those men with you and go back home and give out this warning. And of course, they did listen. I mean, Admiral Byrd was made to sign an NDA and told to keep quiet about it. But he had everything already written in a journal. So the fact is that the United States and everywhere else, were told about this, and they stopped for a good while. Now we're at a situation, here and there that they go, but you never hear about some serious stuff. Now they are being warned or told, I believe they're getting aggravated again with the way things are going. Because technically we're all supposed to be getting along and at peace and that, no war and that. Which, each man has an alter ego and things that are being told in that. And of course they don't believe in being told what they're being told. So, that's the thing. Mankind has always been that way, is very destructive and violence. I mean, it's just outrageous. I mean, just imagine a world without any of that stuff, and this world would be perfect almost. I mean, we all fall into a situation. I mean, that happens. Like my situation. Um, and there's people out there that are in worse situations, which I feel sorry for them. Because the United States government doesn't really care for its people. I was talking to my buddy. See, I'm drunk. Um, we were talking about how overseas in these other countries that they really care for a lot of them really care for their people because they give them free schooling, free college. Um, there's a couple countries that do if the people can't work, they give them like a $3,000 allotment. They give them like food money too. On top of that, I think it's like 900 to 1,000 in food, depending on how many is in the family. And somewhat free housing. I wouldn't call it free housing. So what I call it is that they'll give them a house without having to put money down, and it'll be almost like a mortgage, but real small, payments and that. But they do a lot for them. If a child is born in a certain country, they will send you boxes of stuff for that child: diapers, wipes, formula if the baby needs formula, and a whole bunch of other stuff that'll provide for that child to up to, I believe, 2 years old. I think it was. And then they'll add on to the food allowance and stuff like that. But they also get free medical. So you're not paying a copay. You're not paying nothing. You don't need insurance over there. Their vehicles don't do inspections really over there. Not in all of the countries, I should say. But there's also, truthfully, a lot more freedom in most of those countries. You might have some things that are a little bit more strict, but there's a lot more freedom. From my time over there, I've noticed a lot, especially Italy. Italy's a beautiful country. But here's the thing about Italy. Everybody loves everybody. You might have a little, scuffle, but they make up and things are fine. The crime rate is really barely any of that. And the people help each other. And there's not a single homeless person. And that's another thing over there. There's rarely not any homeless people. So that's the difference between the United States and over there. They just really don't care over here. I've seen these homeless people that made a homeless park, basically, like a trailer park, made their own homes and that. And that's the thing. They go in and tear them down and bother them and chase them out. And it's like, how can you do that? Like, I understand if they're getting a little dirty or causing problems and that, but go in and help clean up. I mean, these people are unable to survive really and do and have no. You don't have enough shelters. You don't have enough this. You don't have enough that. So these homeless got to do what they got to do to stay warm and stay out of the harsh environment when it rains and stuff like that. So they're making their home that's going to help protect them and keep them warm and safe. So really, it just baffles me that the police and our government ain't doing nothing about it. Like, you're doing the opposite. You're causing issues, or you're arresting them and throwing them in jail and think you're doing them a favor. No, you're not. Like, you're costing taxpayer money, but then again, they don't care. It's not their money. So that's what blows my mind, that we are not all standing up against this and going after these people, because there's so much ways they're making so much money off. There's how many people in the United States that they're taxing their checks, and the taxes from what you buy and purchase and what you pay for. So they have trillions of dollars. I mean, they're just lying and saying they don't, but they do. Um, it's all a lie because they're pocketing the money. So really, we need to start. You need to start looking at it. Like, that's why this Atlantis is just it's out there and everybody it's clear as day, and no one's paying attention because, like I'm trying to explain, the government is just constantly lying and stealing. They're stealing millions from us people, okay, and because they don't care about us people. We're the middle class, they're the high class, and that's all they care about. Let's get us the high class to succeed, middle class screw them. Like, if they succeed, if they're smart enough to realize, then and figure out a way to get past that, then they do. Um, but that's the other thing. I mean, no one's doing anything, and that's what blows my mind. That I haven't seen anybody, and I'm one person. One person can't. That's why, like, some of these people that go there to that do try to protest, get arrested. America is not America. It hasn't been for a long time, and that's what you need to realize. Um, it's not the home of the land and home of the free and all that. It's just really a prison and slavery. We're in a giant prison that's just full of slavery in it, and we're the slaves, and they're the masters, and that's the truth about it. I mean, come on, it's reality, and that's what that ticks me off. How about y'all? I mean, that's the truth of it. That's the truth of it. I mean, that's reality. And that's why we need to start, really focusing on it. Put in the trash. Trash. So, that's why we got to really focus on everything. Atlantis is in Antarctica. Proven fact. So many scientists, they're not even looking anywhere else. I mean, you would figure, hearing the stories of Atlantis, and the advanced technology and so on and so forth, I mean, you would think archaeologists would be going off the wall to, especially in Africa. There's the one place they're trying to say is in Africa, which isn't, of course. Or else tons of archaeologists would be out there, and scientists and so on and so forth, but none. They're all in Antarctica. I mean, you have a few now that are, very few now that are at Area 51, Sector 16, and a few of these other bases and that they're at. And that's the issue. Like, people ain't recognizing what's really going on and how it's going on. So, but you got to pay attention to everything that's going on and open your eyes, man, because we got to get these people out of here that are lying to us. We need to know the truth of what's going on, because it isn't just us that we got to worry about. You understand me? It's not. It's our children. All right? It's our families that we got to worry about and focus on. And you really got to open your eyes here, because it blows my mind that they just lie blatantly, and it's okay, and we don't do nothing to get rid of these people. And it's like, they're traitors. They're traitors, and they're tyrants that just don't belong in the positions they're in. Truth be told, I believe they should be locked up. I mean, you're endangering how many people, innocent people, and you don't care. All you care about is getting rich and having money and then having your bunkers while us people are not in the know of what's going to happen. I mean, come on, people, think about it. You're hearing so many of these rich people and that have bunkers, while here we are, unbeknownst to what's going on. Why are you making bunkers? If you're making that many bunkers to evacuate to in case something happens or something's going down, you know about it. And for now, they make it as about Jesus as he's coming back, or is it something else gonna happen? I mean, you gotta really think about it, man. You gotta really pay attention and see it. Open your eyes. Okay? Open your eyes. Because something else is going on. And that's the problem. We're not really focusing on that. And we're focused on everything else because that's what they want us to focus on. But it just blows my mind that we're not, none of us, like, we all need to get together. Okay? And if you want to, just message me. I mean, come on. Ain't that hard to comment me and reach out, and we can, figure another communication method to communicate. And we need to get together and band together, and we need to get as many people as possible, and we need to go up there and give them that constitutional right that we are able to get these people out of office that don't care about us and that are greedy. Get them all out, and then get the people that will care. Okay, now I'm not saying myself because I couldn't do all that. Like, that's stressful. Like, someone else that can handle that kind of stress and all that, go ahead, be my guest. But me, no. Especially running a whole United States now. I mean, giving an advice, yes. And my advice is that we need to start doing what these other countries are doing. Is just, I mean, look at China with certain criminals. I mean, they don't play no games. But yeah, like, we need to start, paying attention. It's a proven fact with everything with Jesus. I mean, and everything that's in, somewhat in the Bible, that we are being told about. Lot's wife, proven. Sodom and Gomorrah, proven. Moses, proven. When he split the Red Sea. Noah and his ark. And now they found Noah and his wife. And so much more. Joseph. And the whole story of Jesus. I mean, come on. Proven, over and over and over. Now, scientists go by science, what they call science. And no, it's not science, it's facts of reality. They just like to use the term science, because they really don't want to focus on what's reality and what's truth. And just happen to be, So, and what I call miracles, I call that stuff kind of like a miracle, that things have happened, because everything is a miracle. Every day that you wake up, miracle. Every day you make it from home to work, miracle. Every time you make it from there to home, miracle. Every time you make it to the grocery store and back, miracle. Everything in life is a miracle. And that's the problem with us. We're not seeing it. We see small stuff like, oh, hey, he died and then came back to life. Oh, he had a heart attack and, for 15 minutes but came back. And saw God and saw Jesus. Those are the small miracles that you only see. And that's the problem with humanity. Seeing is believing instead of believing is seeing. Okay? Focus on everything. Every child is a miracle that's born every single day. Okay? Every day that you make it through life, miracle. Okay? Open your eyes. A miracle happens every single day, 24/7. and we don't open our eyes to it. And that's what baffles me. Like, open your eyes, people. There's a miracle 24/7 that goes on 24/7. I see it. I see it every time. You know, um, it's those small, depressing times that happen that aren't miracles, but it's still a miracle that you're waking up and still going day by day. So you really got to open your eyes, people. Don't let the government shut you down and make you feel less of a person, because that's what they want. That's what they want. But like I said, back to Antarctica. Antarctica is a special place. It really is. It's not as cold as what it's made out to be. It's almost like, those days that there's once in blue moons we get like them blizzards and that, where it's pretty cold. It's almost like that. But then, like, after them blizzards, the next day it's kind of nice and beautiful out. But chilly and decent cold, but not. That's the same thing as Antarctica, but and it's facts, because Antarctica mountain every day. I mean, it's been since day one of when it started. So, and this is the whole reason I'm saying is we're stuck in the ice age still. I mean, we're still going through the ice age. Back then, before all that, the whole world was warm and humid and no ice, no nothing. Nowhere, no, you didn't see snow-capped mountains, and you didn't see Antarctica and snow, and Alaska too was not, ice and snow. I don't know if too many people know that. It was all habited, and it was completely covered in growth of vegetation and that, and trees, and so on and so forth. But once the ice age hit, we were still in this ice age period. Now, when it does, come out to go away, people are going to see a lot more things that are different. And that's what I'm going to talk about in my next video, is why, only 5% of the ocean has been discovered. What is going on that NASA was, looking and then gave up, and now they're focused on trying to get us off this damn planet. At least the rich. But, yeah. We'll get into that on the next video, which is going to be coming up here shortly. But I just want to talk to you and let you guys know about Atlantis, Antarctica. It's all the same, AA, Antarctica, Atlantis. So, it's a proven fact that Atlantis is underneath all that ice. There's so much over there that's being hidden from us, and it's also an entrance and exit. So, I also believe the possibility of the Garden of Eden is in Antarctica. I truly believe that. As far as I can figure out, it's the only other place that would be possible. And that's another reason why, things are going on there as well. They're trying to find their way into that Garden of Eden. It is protected. It is talked about being protected still. But, yeah. It was great talking to y'all. I am going to eventually start doing longer videos of talking about multiple things. But I'm going to do less babbling of going all over the place and that. And then we're also going to talk about other things. I figured I want to try something different. I'm trying to get more talks with people and that, because I really like everybody that wants to learn and hear the truth about things. And I will have a setup here. Hopefully my friend will help me get a setup here this coming weekend where I can show you everything. So Um, I'm trying to get where I can show everything from over here, get an angle where, I can show you everything, how to look it up and how to find it, what to read for, what to look for, to, get to that point of where you need to read and learn certain things. Also, things that come up on Facebook Reels, TikTok, Instagram Reels, and all that stuff. And the news. I'm gonna try and I'm gonna have that set up for over here, but I'll have an angle so we can both look at it and be able to both read it. I'm still working on how to try to figure out how to pull things to put them on here while I'm talking. I'm not the greatest on that yet. It's still a little difficult to figure out, but I will get that done, so that will also help. I appreciate every single one of you. It has been great. It has been wonderful. I'm hoping you all have a great, wonderful day. Let me get on to my next video, and we'll get to that. All right? Thank you.